So this is for the Heritage Department, Heritage authorities. Once the HIA has been completed and the report is prepared, what do we do? What do we need to keep an eye on? So it's in order to get to an environmental permit and to allow the development to continue. This is the aim of the project developer, to get the HIA report endorsed. So I just wanted to quickly go again, who are the HIA stakeholders? We always have to remember this. And so when the HIA report is prepared, the project proponent often review it first. Obviously, mitigation that is in there needs to be agreed with the project developer, for instance, things like cost, things like timing, things like expertise, and so forth. Heritage Authority, Heritage Department will be reviewing the HIA, commenting on it. So will the public. Usually at a draft HIA stage, the wider public can comment on it. Yeah, then the report will come back to the HIA practitioner, who will take on board all these comments and improve the report. And then ultimately it's up to the Heritage Authority to issue the permit if the HIA has been found as satisfactory. So looking at the report itself, easiest to ensure that all the elements have been addressed is to use a report template, just the headings to ensure that all the elements are inside, but also to go back to the scoping report and to ensure that the elements which were flagged in the scoping report, that they are included and addressed in the HIA report. The major problems are taken care of. Of course, an HIA report should be professional, should be ethical, should be practical and viable. Okay, so just quickly run through the headings, just title page, we don't need to do that. So in the background, of course, the need for a project. Everybody has to understand that it's a legitimate project, and therefore it is being considered, even though it may have heritage impacts. So who did it, for whom, who asked for the HIA, or is it under a legislation or guideline? Identification of the study area. And throughout the entire report, we should have clear illustrations, maps showing what we are talking about. The methodology, what will be the aim of the HIA? What is the methodology based on? Quickly, the key issues and the constraints of the identified heritage, and what are the steps which were undertaken, and any limitations, or if for some reason we couldn't access part of the study area, or there were money limitations, all these things need to go into the heritage impact assessment report. Baseline review. First thing we saw this morning, so two sites need to be very clearly described, heritage sites and the proposed development. You're writing an HIA report not only for heritage people, you're writing it for the wider public, you're writing it for a project proponent, you're writing it for other government departments or other interest groups. So the language has to be clear, it has to be understood by all, basically. Of course, the proposed development, it's mentioned a few times today, needs to include also the alternatives, whether the alternatives were taken further or considered impractical, and then they won't be assessed. So the assessment, clear statement of what is the heritage that you looked at, what is the relationship between the heritage and the works, is it a comprehensive assessment, have the objectives been achieved, Has there been any public participation? Was it needed and it's not included? So all these kind of things, you know, we just quickly go back to scoping, go back to all the necessary steps and ensure that they're there. So mitigation, that should be fresh in your mind. Is it relevant? Is it comprehensive? Is it practical? Is it viable? Does the expertise exist? You know, is it listed? References to legislation and guidelines, and of course illustrated. The monitoring plan, we've just seen that. So does that have all the elements that it needs? And basically that is what we're checking for in a heritage impact assessment report. So